Here are four key areas that I'd like to share that I've been focusing more on lately in terms of how I spend my guitar time. And these four key areas, they have helped me ensure that I'm being productive. They have changed over the years. I used to divide my practice routine into different techniques. Like in my early 20s, I would have a day for alternate picking, another day for legato, a separate day maybe focusing on sweep picking. And it was a good routine at that time because I was still developing my skills. But as we learn new things and as we grow, we find that there are more things that are important than just developing your technique, like phrasing, improvisation, different chord progressions. And these four areas have helped me be more efficient in terms of how I address all those things and be or improve as a musician in general. So the four key areas are, the first one is learning. So any time that I spend learning something, like maybe learning a guitar solo, or maybe just a lick in that guitar solo that I want to extract and apply in my own playing, or even as simple as learning a chord progression of a song, that's under learning. And I just like to quickly share what Victor Wooten said in one of his talks. He said that music is a language similar to how we learned our first language when we were children. We would just copy and imitate anything that we hear, like when our parents are talking or any the people around us, we would just imitate it even if it didn't make sense, and that's how we developed our first language. And an interesting point that he said there, that in contrast to music and learning our language, he said when we make a mistake in music, we are told that it's wrong. But when we make a mistake in learning our first language as children, we are never told that it's wrong, to the point that our parents would say it wrong with us. So that's a very important point that he made there. And it inspired me to continue learning. And I think we should continue learning. Even if we think that we're already intermediate or advanced, we should never stop learning as if we are learning our first language. And we shouldn't be afraid of making mistakes. So just continue learning new things. And I think that's one of the quickest solutions to one of our common problems. When we feel lost in our guitar journey, we don't know what to practice, just learn something. Like we listen to music all the time, anything that captures your interests, copy and imitate it as if we're learning a language. That's the quickest way that we can improve. That's the first way that we have learned the guitar, is to copy anything that we hear. So that's learning. The second key area is mastering. So in mastering, I just like to repeat something. So anything that I've learned, I just like to repeat it over and over again until it becomes a part of me, until it becomes something that I don't have to think about, until the point of mastery. Because not all the things that we've learned are easily mastered. I mean, learning is important, but if you don't master what you've learned, you're just going to lose it. So anything that you've learned, make sure to repeat it over and over again, drill it down hundreds of thousands of times until you don't have to think about it, until it becomes a part of you, preferably over a backing track so that you can apply it in a musical context. So that's mastering, repetition. The third key area is improvising. So in this area, I just like to play a backing track or loop a chord progression that I'm working on. Maybe I have a gig that I'm preparing for, or I'm working on something like a chord progression that has a lot of chord changes that I'm working on how to solo over. So in this area, it's just free expression, and there are no predetermined lines or melodies. It's a very good way to test your overall skill level and a very good opportunity to apply all the things that you've learned, because anything that you've mastered, all the things that you've mastered, you don't want to just play it in isolation. You want to be able to incorporate it with your melodies and lines. So you can only practice that if you spend time improvising and also practicing different chord progressions and different chord changes, because that's a very challenging skill to acquire, the ability to be able to follow the chords and play through the changes. So that's one thing that I'm constantly working on, and that's why I spend time improvising. The last key area is creating. So if I'm not doing those three things, if I'm not learning, if I'm not mastering, or if I'm not improvising, I spend time creating. So in this area, I'm working on a song that maybe needs to be finished, or maybe writing a new song, or recording something, or shooting a video like this. And I also have like projects like I do covers in my YouTube channel. So anything that involves original work, or you're creating something that you can share to the world. So that's under creating. And I think that that's the ultimate expression of our craft, to be able to create something and share it to everyone. So those are the four key areas. And I don't really like to schedule these four areas strictly. I just like to feel what's natural for me. So these four things, they just rotate randomly in any order. What I feel like doing, I do that. And if I just do any one of these key areas, maybe one or two, depending on the time that I have, I'm always sure that I'm not wasting my time. And I can always say that I am being productive, or that was a time well spent on the guitar. So those are the four key areas. Those are the four things that I've been focusing on. And if you have any suggestions, like maybe something that you want to add to the list that you think is important, feel free to share it in the comment section below. So that's it for the video. Thanks for watching.